How you doing? David Kelly here again. So, for the last 2 weeks now, I have been following a strict, hardcore 80-10-10 diet. And what that means is that I've been eating only fruit and only vegetables. Mostly fruit, and at the end of the day, I'll have my vegetables. So there's no nuts, no seeds, no avocado. So no high-fat fruit either, like avocado or durian. How it's been working is very well, actually. The reason why I've done this, I'm doing this for a month because in a couple weeks I'm planning on running out to Niagara-on-the-Lake. Well, not running, it's a combination of walking and running over a period of 3 days. And it's about 133 kilometers or 135 kilometers, give or take. Yeah, so I'm preparing for this, and the reason why I'm doing a hardcore 80-10-10 where I'm not even allowing for any overt fats is because although my body weight overall was good, my body fat percentage was still a little bit on the high side. I was about 15% fat overall. And for any kind of long distance running, I think it's important to keep the body fat below 10%, ideally around 5%. Now, will I meet that target by the time I go out on this journey? Probably not, but I'm hoping to get under 10%. And I have lost a few pounds, so there is indication that, and I feel that, I'm losing body fat. But how I've been succeeding on this, and this is really important, is not restricting the calories that I need every day. So I've been eating about, my guess is between 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. I try at each meal to have at least 1,000 calories. So if I'm eating just bananas, that's 10 regular sized bananas. And that, if I was calorie restricting, forget it. This would not work. Now, I haven't experienced any kind of serious detox or anything like that, simply because there was one day where I felt like I was coming down with a cold. My sinuses were blocked, and I was getting tension in the front of my forehead, and I was feeling tired. And but the next day I was fine. So I don't know what that was. It could have been a cold. It could have been detox. I'm not sure. But it only lasted for a day, and then it was gone. And I really haven't had anything like that since then. Probably what makes it easy for me to do this has not been a difficult challenge for me to completely eliminate all overt fats from my diet and just eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and make sure that I get all the calories that I need. It hasn't been difficult because, in a sense, I've been preparing for this for like the last year, ever since I read Doug Graham's book, 80-10-10, 80% carbohydrates, 10% fat, 10% protein. I've been sort of experimenting with the 80-10-10 diet and gradually making it more a part of my what I eat every day. And for the last 6 months, I have been more or less 80-10-10, with the exceptions of the occasional cooked meal and the occasional high-fat indulgence. I was, for the most part, 80-10-10. So let's say I was 95%, 90, 95%, 80, 10, 10. Then when I decided to go 80, 10, 10 hardcore, and that's eliminating all overt fats, it was only like 5 or 10% difference from what I was already doing. It wasn't like one day I was eating, the standard American diet, and then I jump into 80, 10, 10. And I think this is what people are that try doing 80, 10, 10 is if they jump into it from a completely different way of eating, then I think it's going to be brutal. Your body's going to go into shock. And for older people like myself, I'm 50, I'm going to be 51, that's not necessarily a good thing to do. It's good to transition, to do things gradually, unless you have a serious health condition that needs to be dealt with immediately. Then okay, do something radical, but do it under the care of healthcare professionals, someone that knows what they're doing. Like, get guidance, get coaching, because it could be dangerous if you're just doing this on your own. So it's 2 weeks of just eating fruits, mostly fruits, and then some leafy green vegetables. I still have my green smoothie every day. Has been pretty easy. I mean, I do get cravings. When I'm hungry, I walk by the pizza place, I love the smell of pizza, and of course I'm going to crave that if I'm hungry. And the other day when I was cooking udon noodles for my wife, I love udon noodles, and of course I wanted to have some udon noodles, but when I'm completely full, those cravings just diminish. They're not really there, and they don't preoccupy my mind. So I don't plan on doing this permanently where I don't eat any overt fats. This is really just until up to the point when I'm doing my journey out to Niagara on the Lake over a 3-day period, which is not like, what does it work out to? About a marathon a day, I guess. And it will be a combination of running and walking. I'm not trying to, beat any record. I'm not trying to push myself beyond any crazy limits, like I'm going to listen to my body. I'll run, and if I can run faster, I'll pick up the pace. But if I feel like I got to slow down and walk, I'll walk. My purpose is to make it without injuring myself, and I'll be running with my Vibrams too. So that will be an interesting experiment as well, to see how they work on really long distances. The longest that I've done a straight run in the Vibrams is about 15 miles, and they work great. So I'm assuming that they're going to work really well, for a really long distance. Anyhow, so I just thought I would touch base with you guys and let you know what's up. Other than that, my life is really busy. I've been doing renovations around the house. Just crazy stuff with everyday life, and I guess that's typical of most people's lives, right? So it's a challenge to fit in your daily train. I have to train as well physically for this journey that I'm doing, and it's a challenge to get a good day's training in when you've got a lot of other demands in your life. But it can be done. It's just a matter of being able to not get overwhelmed by what seems like an insurmountable amount of things that need to be done, and just take on one thing at a time, and eventually things get done. That's how it works for me anyways, or else I'd lose my mind. I would just like to make a little bit of an emphasis on calorie restriction, because there are diets out there that guarantee, that you will lose weight, and you will lose weight, but they're really, maybe they call it portion control or whatever, but at the end it's calorie restriction. And I think short term you'll see benefits, but long term it's not the answer. We're not meant to restrict ourselves of food. I think I'll talk a little bit about that on another video, so I just thought I'd throw that in there, because this is what I'm doing is working, is by not restricting calories, making sure I eat enough. That is really important, and eat enough of the right foods. So eat your fruits and vegetables and have a great life. God bless.